everyone will think I'm weird.
Sweetie, you are weird.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 The Big Bang Theory moments that made us happy cry.
Tell her I'm really sorry, and if she doesn't want to marry me, I get it.
The only conclusion was love.
So everybody knows what's in that letter except for me?
Yes, it's 6 against 1. Stand down, sir.
For this list, we'll be looking at the scenes that had us tearing up with a smile on our face. We won't cry if you leave a comment down below, but it would make us very happy.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 10, Penny sits in the bathroom with Sheldon.
I don't enjoy presents. And the thought of people jumping out and yelling surprise fills me with more dread than the words George Lucas director's cut.
Sheldon has always avoided celebrating his birthday because when he was a kid, no one came to his parties, and his sister and her friends would torment him. But when he finally agrees to have a party, he gets overwhelmed and retreats to the bathroom.
What's going on?
I don't know. I looked around the room and I saw all the faces and the presents, and it was just too much.
I get that.
Penny goes after him, and the moment they share is quite touching. Penny points out that there was a time when she too would have made fun of Sheldon, but now he's one of her favourite people.
You know, I hate that your sister and her friends used to torture you. What I hate even more is if I was there, I would have tortured you too.
It could be argued that the central relationship of the show is the loving friendship that develops between Penny and Sheldon, and this sweet scene is a wonderful encapsulation of that.
There was a time I never would have been friends with someone like you, and now you are one of my favorite people. So if what you need is to spend your birthday in a bathroom, I'm happy to do it with you.
Number 9, Howard finds out Bernadette is pregnant. We, the audience, found out that Bernadette was pregnant at the end of the previous episode.
We'll find another time to tell him I'm pregnant.
However, she didn't get a chance to tell Howard because he was bitten by a wild rabbit and went to the hospital to be safe. So, in a very cute gesture, Bernadette sets up a little kitchen scavenger hunt that leads Howard to reveal that he's going to be a dad.
We? What is this?
I don't know. Maybe it says something on the back.
The moment of silence and absolute joy that we see on his face when he reads the word pregnant was definitely a happy cry moment.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive.
Number 8, Amy's Mima cookie present.
Look at you on Santa's lap. That's so sweet.
Oh, of course it is. It's a perfect gift.
Sheldon and Amy had agreed not to exchange gifts at Christmas, but Sheldon decides to get her a present anyway. Not to be nice, of course, but to get back at her for throwing a Victorian-era themed party that he's angry he has to go to.
Christmas is ruined. Let's never speak of it again. Oh, this was fun.
However, his plan backfires when Amy loves his gift and has gotten him something as well. This makes him even angrier until he opens up the gift and discovers that she's made him cookies just like the ones his Mima used to make.
Cookies?
They're your Mima's Christmas cookies. I called and got the recipe.
His shock and happiness left us all smiling too, while also wiping our eyes.
They're perfect. It tastes like her hugs.
Number 7, Sheldon tells Amy he loves her. In season 3, fans experienced the disappointment of Leonard telling Penny that he loves her, without her replying in kind. So when Amy was preparing to tell Sheldon how she felt, we were all nervous that the same fate might befall her, especially given that Sheldon had always been so emotionally closed off.
I really did think you looked pretty.
You did?
Yes. So much so that I started to panic.
At a prom night organised by Amy and Bernadette, Amy decides to tell Sheldon how she feels, but is nervous about how he'll respond.
There's something else I've been wanting to say, but before I do, I want you to know that you don't have to say it back. I know you're not ready, and I don't want you to say it just because social convention dictates
I
that
love you too.
So not only did it make us happy to hear him say it, but for him to cut in and say it first. Well, that just added some tears of joy to our happiness.
There's no denying I have feelings for you that can't be explained in any other way.
Number 6, Bernadette made Howard a better man. At Howard's stag party, Raj gets drunk and makes a speech that pretty much covers every sexual adventure Howard has had since they've known each other.
The only threesome I've ever had in my whole life, and I'm proud to say it was with this man right here!
Will Wheaton films the speech, puts it on YouTube, and Bernadette watches it and finds out about a lot of things Howard never told her.
You lied to me. You said you told me about all the girls you've been with, but you never mentioned your cousin, the prostitute, or Raj.
So where does this go from angry sad to happy sad? Well, that happens when Howard asks Penny to deliver a message to Bernadette about how she's made him a better man.
What I really want her to know is that the guy that she's disgusted by is the guy that I'm disgusted by too, but that guy doesn't exist anymore. He's gone. And the reason is because of her.
Sure, it was reminiscent of Jack Nicholson in As Good As It Gets,
You make me want to be a better man.
but it was heartfelt and revealing of just how much Howard had changed since the early years.
If this relationship is over, let her know that she made me a better man and tell her thank you.
Number 5, Sheldon sees Amy's wedding dress. This is yet another moment of happy tears that initially looked like it might just be tears without any of the happiness.
This is it. This is the one.
When Amy falls in love with a wedding dress that both Bernadette and Penny dislike, she feels sad and starts to doubt her choice.
Do you love it?
Do you?
I do.
Wow.
However, that sadness and doubt vanish the moment Sheldon comes home and sees her in the dress.
Guess who's no longer allowed to set foot in... Wow! You look beautiful.
His reaction of pure joy and love at how amazing she looks is exactly what Amy needed. It's just another indication of how perfect a match these two are.
Really? Because I was gonna return it.
Why would you return it? Well, you look like a pile of swans.
Number 4, Penny's box of memories.
This is great. Thank you so much.
What?
Nothing. I love it.
When Penny's attempt at romance falls short, she shows Leonard a box of mementos that she's saved from over all the years they've known each other. The box is filled with gifts from Leonard and mementos of the times they've had together.
Here's the plane ticket you bought me when I was too poor to go home for the holidays, and the rose you left in my windshield just because. Here's the thank you letter you wrote me after the first time I slept with you.
Seeing everything she's held on to reinforces the fact that she's loved him for longer than she might be willing to admit. However, the eye-watering cherry on top of it all is what she says when Leonard can't believe that she's saved all this stuff.
Of course I did. It's you.
Number 3, Raj talks to Penny sober. For the first 8 episodes of this series, Raj couldn't talk to girls at all.
Okay, Raj, what'll it be?
Whatever you recommend.
How about a grasshopper? I make a mean grasshopper.
Then he discovered that he could talk to the opposite sex if he was drinking alcohol, and Penny was the first girl he talked to.
Where did my life go, Penny? One day I'm a carefree bachelor, and the next I'm married and driving a minivan to Pee Wee cricket matches in suburban New Delhi.
5 seasons later, and we'd become accustomed to Raj relying on alcohol. So when Penny came over to console him after Lucy broke up with him, the assumption was that he was talking to her because he was drunk.
What is wrong with me? Why can't I ever have love?
You will.
No, I am unlovable.
That's just the booze talking.
No, it's not. I haven't had a drink since last night.
However, in one of the biggest surprises of the entire series, Raj was completely sober, turning this moment of heartbroken tears into one filled with happy ones.
You're talking to me.
I am. And I'm crying from for a whole different reason.
Number 2, the multiple versions of the letter from Howard's father. Before this episode, all we knew about Howard's father was that he left when Howard was a little kid.
Howard, I found this letter from your dad in a box. Now, based on the content, it could either be filed...
You opened this?
Well, I had to find out if it was personal correspondence or memorabilia. Now, as I was saying, based on the content...
I couldn't be less interested.
However, on Howard's 18th birthday, his dad sent him a letter he never opened. When Sheldon is organising Howard and Bernadette's closet, he finds and reads the letter.
Howard, did you want to know what's in the letter?
If I wanted to know, I would have opened it years ago.
Howard doesn't want to know what the letter says, but eventually everyone else does know. To provide Howard with some type of closure, Sheldon comes up with the idea of telling him 6 versions of the letter, with only one being the truth.
You didn't know it, but your father was in the auditorium at your high school graduation. And he cried because he was so proud of you.
The happiness this brings Howard is so touching, and probably the first time the thought of his father has brought a smile to his face in a long while.
Inside the envelope was a picture of your dad holding you the day you were born. On the back he wrote, "Howard, my son, my greatest gift."
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Sheldon's speech.
I was under a misapprehension that my accomplishments were mine alone. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Sheldon had dreamed his entire life of winning the Nobel Prize, and to expect a speech focused on anything but himself would have been absurd, given how selfish and self-focused we know he can be.
How can you call them friends when they're abandoning us?
They're abandoning us because you broke their hearts.
But when Amy finally opens his eyes to how his actions have truly hurt his friends, he makes his speech all about them.
I have been encouraged, sustained, inspired, and tolerated, not only by my wife, but by the greatest group of friends anyone ever had.
Each one of the main characters went through some kind of transformation and growth over the course of the show's 12 seasons, but maybe none more than Sheldon Cooper. His Nobel Prize acceptance speech is the perfect culmination of that growth, and the most happy cry-worthy moment that the show gave us.
I apologize if I haven't been the friend you deserve. But I want you to know, in my way, I love you all.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.